you, Chairman Bozeman and Ranking Member Klobuchar, and thanks to our panel of witnesses for being here today. We really appreciate your testimony and your willingness to visit with us about the importance of conservation. So I have the privilege of traveling all across Iowa, and I don't even have to travel river to river. I get it at home all the time. I come from a farm family. My hairstylist, I grew up with her husband who's a farmer. My dental hygienist the other day was giving me the lowdown. You know, her husband is a beginning farmer to the next community up. And so I hear a lot. And of course, this has been a big topic. We really need the Farm Bill done, and they want to know that the Title II conservation is also going to get completed. So what they want to do, of course, we're talking about improving soil health, our water quality, and the long-term productivity, which some of you have addressed already. But they face a lot of barriers with the rigid USDA standards. It really slows things down. So I've reintroduced my Streamlining Conservation Practice Standards Act to modernize how USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service updates its technical standards. And that will serve as a guide for many of the Title II Farm Bill programs. And so the bill would update the agency's process to require a regular review of existing conservation practice standards. It would create a public process for submitting and adopting new practices, and it would prioritize the integration of innovative tools like nutrient efficiency technologies. Biological fertilizer is one of those examples that's proven to improve plant growth. So ultimately the goal is simple. Let's cut the red tape. Let's keep standards science-based and flexible, very key, and help farmers get conservation tools in use faster. And I'm really thankful that I have colleagues like Senators Durbin, Senators Marshall, and Senators Heinrich. They've also joined me in this effort as well. So it's a good bipartisan product. So Mrs. Dwyer, I'll start with you. You work at the intersection of production agriculture and innovation as a farmer and with the Illinois corn growers. So can you maybe talk a little bit about the delays in updating practice standards? Do these create a barrier for innovation, particularly when it comes to nutrient management and soil health?
Thank you. Love this question. You know, I think you brought it up on looking at how practice standards are developed today. Right now, NRCS defaults to land-grant universities. Unfortunately, in Illinois, they don't even default to University of Illinois. They're going outside of Illinois to look at what those mean. And so I think it's first and foremost, how can we get some of that boots-on-the-ground information, whether it's through SIGs and other NRCS programs and private programs, and actually utilize that data. You know, we're concerned that we know that data drives decisions. So how can we take the boots-on-the-ground information, as well as knowing that farmers are natural innovators. They're going to adopt technologies and precision ag that's going to outpace what we see in some of these standards. And so ensuring the technology keeps up for what is actually happening on the farm and why we can be more innovative and flexible is absolutely crucial if we want to see conservation scalable and adopted at the pace that we need to meet the goals of things like the nutrient loss reduction strategy.
Right, I love it, and thank you for that. I really appreciate your input and advocacy on that. So, Mr. Blair, conservation districts are often at the front line. We've already heard a little bit about that, but how could increased transparency and public engagement in the conservation practice standard process improve trust and effectiveness at a local level?
Trust is, key, I think, in all of what we do, and making sure that the farmers and ranchers understand that they can trust not only the local conservation district, but also the NRCS employees, and making sure the productivity of their soils are maximized in order to increase the amount of income that they can reach off their farms. So it's very key. It's a very important part of what we're doing, and I look forward to learning more about your programs and getting those implemented.
Yeah, wonderful. And just in closing, I think trust is a big part of this. We have all of these young men and women, or men and women my age even that are out working across these offices. And you come from communities like ours. We're all intertwined. We all know each other, and we trust that they are going to do the best for our family farms and for our future generations. Our communities rely on that. So thank you, Mr. Chair.